Hey guys, this is Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm gonna show you guys how to draw the Stegosaurus from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and Jurassic World Evolution as well. And I think the reference photo that I'm using is actually from Jurassic World Evolution. But before we're gonna start off this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss a single video. Alright, so I know it's Inktober right now. So I'm planning on going over this whole drawing with ink in a different video and showing you guys later on how to add colors with markers, like Copic markers or touch markers, whatever markers you prefer to use, as long as they can blend. Alright, so now that we want to start a drawing with, basically, well, we could draw a shape like this, just a curved line over here, and a curved line about over there. And now we want to get the back in, so this is going to be the area where his limbs will be attached to his body. So the back leg, the hind leg will be over here, front legs will be over here. But you have to know that his hind leg is a little bit larger than his front leg, so it starts about over, well, let's not get into too much of detail, but basically the back area, so his back will be higher up in the air than the front area of the dinosaur. I hope that makes sense, because the limbs are just a lot larger. And yeah, alright, so basically what you want to do is draw an egg shape like this. Well, it's almost an egg shape, not exactly, but it's almost an egg shape. Very elongated egg. And then later on you can add the tail as well. Something like this, but we're not going to focus on that too much right now. Just first going to focus on his hind legs. So if you're drawing a non-bipedal dinosaur, well, also in a bipedal dinosaur you would also have to pay attention to this, but you have to pay attention to the fact where his knee is located in comparison with his belly. So some dinosaurs have very long legs, and that means that the knee will be below his belly, but the Stegosaurus, his knee will be about over here. So this is going to be part of his hind leg, like this, and you can just create a shape like this and later on attach the other area of his leg to it. So his knee will be over there, so we're just going to draw a very big circle, and then his leg goes like this, and this area is just as long as this upper area of his leg. So just draw a shape like that. And actually this is a little bit more, this goes a little bit more like this. A little bit of a calf muscle right there. And then we have his ankle over there, and the foot will be kind of attached to it like this, and of course his ankle over here. And we will go into more detail later on, but this is just the first look we're gonna go with, and we can always go over it later on and create a little bit more detail and stuff. Alright, now for his front leg, goes like this, and his elbow is just a little bit below his chest area, so this will be, you could make an area like this, by the way. So this is going to be his chest area, and then over here this will be his whole belly area. So that's going to be the basic shape. Alright, so now for his elbow will be just below his chest area, and his front limb will be a lot thinner as well. So here will be the elbow, and then he has the lower arm area, lower arm section, and then we want to make sure that this is about the same height. So we can now draw in his foot, or whatever you would call it. I would say it's something like his hand, because normally with theropod dinosaurs, that's where his hand would be about. It would be an arm with a hand. Alright, and now for this leg, just comes out from over here. Then we have the foot like that, and basically that's gonna be something like this. So, by the way, if you've been around for long enough on my channel, you might already know that I already did a tutorial on how to draw the Stegosaurus, but it didn't really get a lot of views. It didn't really get as much attention as I would liked it to have. So I decided to do another one, and besides, this one will be colored in, I think, later on. Something like that. And then something like that. So this would be fine for now. This looks about accurate, I would say. He is slightly lifting up his other foot. Maybe this is supposed to be a little bit more like this. Alright, so now we have the basics in of his body. We can now focus on the neck, his head, and the tail. So the tail goes like this. So if this would be the area for his hip. Alright, so this would be the area for his hip, about here somewhere. So it has a curve right here, and then the tail goes right, the tail starts over here, and it goes like this, almost perfectly around the hip area, and then it goes down. It gets a little straighter over here, and then just before it's gonna hit the ground, it goes up again. Now we need to pay attention to the fact that his tail is supposed to be about as long as this part until that part of his body. So make sure you make the tail long enough. And maybe it has too much of a curve in it, so I'm just gonna slightly adjust it so that the curve is a little bit more accurate to the Jurassic World or Jurassic Park Stegosaurus. And then it goes like this, and it gets very thick just around over here again, and he has a very thick tail right there. So I would say that this is about accurate. Alright, let's see how much time we have. Alright, that's just fine. So now we only need to put in his neck, and first we want to make sure that this muscle is showing properly, and over here we have a shoulder. It goes like that, and attached to that shoulder will be the underside of his neck. Maybe a little bit lower though. Yeah, it's gonna be just a tiny bit lower, about over there. So his neck goes, let's first finish off his back properly so that it looks good. Alright, so his neck goes like this, goes straight out, and then just about over here it has a curve up, and then it curves down again, and attached to that area will be his head. In comparison with his body, his head is really small. So what we want to do, we want to draw a circle at the end of his neck, like this. Maybe the circle can be just a tiny bit larger so that we can fit in the underside of his head as well, the lower jaw. Now what we want to do is draw almost a straight line like this. It's very similar to drawing a horse, the head of a horse. By the way, I just want to change the angle of his head a little bit. Oh. I want to have the head in an angle like looking forward, so I want it to look this way, and then it goes like this, like that, and then this will be his head. And I made his head maybe a little bit too large, but not sure why, but I really do like to make a bigger head for my dinosaurs, because you can add a little bit better facial features in it. It will look a little bit nicer and cooler that way. Okay, so for the eye area, what you want to do is draw a shape like this, and then draw the eye right underneath there. Maybe, no, I need to make this line a little longer, and over here will be his eye. So that's gonna be his eye. We want to make a shape like this over here. We want to draw in the muscle for his jaw, but I'm not gonna focus too much on that yet. Alright, so now we have all the basic things in place. The only thing that we still need is well, what are those called? The spikes or the plates on his back. So if you don't know how to draw the plates, and this is the part where it's gonna get hard, and this is also the part where most of you guys don't know how to draw this. Oh, I keep dropping stuff now. So yeah, most of you guys don't know how to draw this, and that's why I'll show you how to draw it. So basically he has right in front of his hip, over here is his hip, and then just a little bit more in front over here will be the biggest plate of them all. And then you basically have to draw two plates on this side, just from large to small, and two plates on this side from large to small also, and then you just put three more plates over here, and then three more plates over there, and that's just literally all. Oh, I mean two more plates on his toe. Alright, so it's gonna be about over here, and it's gonna be very broad, so about the same width as from here to there. So you're gonna maybe a little bit wider, I would say. It would be a little bit wider. So about the same width from over here until there. So you're just gonna draw a line that represents the same width, and then you start at the top of his back over here, and you just draw in shape like this, and it will be angled slightly to the back like this, and then make sure the spikes, I mean the plates, aren't too sharp points, and then you just draw in something that looks like this. Could be a little bit, just a tiny little bit bigger, I would say. Alright, so that's gonna be the first one. And now remember, you just gotta put two big ones on this side and two big ones on that side. And you're gonna have to leave just about this much space between every plate. So every plate will be angled a little bit, will be angled towards the back a little bit. So the more you go back, the further the plates will be angled like this. Now we need to put in the spikes on his tail, and they will go in like this. They have quite an angle on them. Alright, and then the other side, it's gonna be about the same. Okay, and that's it. So the only thing left now is, well, we could put some detail into his face. So let's see. Yeah, so his nose would be about over here. It's gonna be his nose. Then he has almost a beak-like shape over here. Goes down like that. Is shaped like this. Alright, and now we can put in a little bit of shadow. And he has a cheek over here, so we're gonna put a little bit of shadow over there as well. Okay, so yeah, the only thing left now is just to put some thicker lines around the drawing, and then we can then it's ready for the ink. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna make everything a little bit darker so that you guys can see it a little bit better. And in the next video that I'm gonna do, the Stegosaurus, we will have some inking involved in it. I could just draw a couple more smaller details just to make it look a little bit more finished, I guess. But yeah, first I'll have to go over it and make it darker. So I'll just quickly do that and I'll be back when that's done. Alright, if you darken the drawing a little bit, it should look something like this. So now we're not done yet. We're still gonna add a little bit of shadow, a little bit of detailing, but not too much. So yeah, you want to have a little bit of shadow over here and a couple of lines coming down on his neck like this. So these are just some wrinkles, but like I said, we're not gonna go into too much of detail. Just a couple of little small details should all be fine. So you can just draw a couple of those things like this, and then you could put a couple of scales in. I wouldn't go too much overboard with it. Just a couple of them like this, and then you make them disappear once you get near the belly area. And this should be just about fine. Don't put in too much. And now we can draw a line. This is going to be an artery right here. Doing something like this. There's going to be shadow underneath it, but we still keep and highlight and just draw a couple lines that go like this. Then over here we also have a little bit of shadowing, a couple of shadow lines, I'm not sure, like indentations in the skin. It's just like there are just a few skin folds over here. But nothing too much. Over here we also have a couple of wrinkles going like this. And then some shadow over here as well. But don't go too mad on the shadowing aspect. Just I often use a lot of shadow in my drawings, so my drawings are very dark, but your drawings don't have to be dark in order for them to look good and detailed. You can just put smaller amounts of detail in your drawing and it will look just as good. It will look fine that way. You do not always have to use very dark drawings. I would say it's more easier to do drawings with less detail and still make them look better than drawings that have great detail but look terrible. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys have encountered that aspect of drawing in where you put in too much detail and you end up with a drawing that looks too detailed and it just doesn't look right. It just looks too dark and you can't, I mean, sometimes what I used to do is put so much detail into your drawing that eventually the drawing will end up looking like there is nothing going on in it at all, because there's just so much going on and it's just so dark that you can't see anything left of your whole drawing. That happens to me a lot. Well, it used to happen to me a lot, not anymore. I mean, it happens sometime. I'm still not really happy with the Allosaurus drawing that I did, the speed drawing version, because it just looks too dark, in my opinion at least. So this way it looks just as detailed, but you just don't put as much detail in as you would in normal drawing of yours. Just a tiny bit of shadow here and there, and that's gonna be fine. So now for this area we also have to put in those very pronounced lines like this. And over here, by the way, he has a lot of wrinkles going on here, a lot of skin wrinkles. And that just goes on and on for quite some part of his tail, till about over there, I guess. And you can just darken in the bottom area of the tail. And just put a couple of lines there. So this video took a little longer than I wanted it to, but I guess it's fine. You could also put some details inside of the scales that you put in. So close to the plates, it's gonna be dark in comparison. So that's why you see a lot of those lines of the scales more pronounced on the top of the dinosaur in comparison with the bottom of the dinosaur. So it kind of casts a little bit of shadow on top of the dinosaur. But it's not too much, it's just a little bit on top, and then they get harder to see as you go along. Alright, so now for his hind leg we need a couple of wrinkles, like what I'm drawing right now. And make sure again that you don't press down too hard on your pencil. Otherwise you won't be able to correct small mistakes or even big mistakes that you won't. I mean, you can ruin your whole drawing just by pressing down too hard on it on your pencil. So make sure you pay attention to that and don't press down too hard. You need to make sure you need to keep that in your head. So over here we just have a couple scales like this for the knee. We'll also have a little bit of shadow over here. And also over here. And then you can just darken in the whole both of the legs on the other side, because there's not really too much detail visible from here that you can really see. And I would say that this drawing is almost about done. The only thing that we still need is maybe a little bit of detail on the spikes. So with detail I just mean shadowing. When you get shadow into your drawing, it instantly becomes more detailed. It looks a lot better with shadow than without. And of course the patterns on the plates, and what you can just do is just draw shapes like that, just scribble them in and go with the shape of your actual plate, and then you can just make sure that you put some darker lines going right through them. And I made one line a little bit too dark. I don't want it to catch the eye too much. Still want it to be about the same tone as everything else in the drawing. Alright, and if this is done, I would say that the drawing is about done. Oh no, we still have to put in the shadow on the plates on the opposite side, of course. I think that will be just fine. Alright, and like I said, just put in the shadow on the plates on the opposite side. Just make them as dark as the darkest shadow in your drawing. It's not because of any particular reason, so it's not like the sun doesn't come there, it doesn't get there. It's just that we don't wanna, at least I don't wanna go into the trouble of drawing all the detail in, because it will take a lot of time, and I think that this video is already becoming very long, so just trying to keep the video as short as possible with an okay quality drawing. I truly hope this video gets a little bit more attention, because I really like this drawing. I think it's in proportion wise it's better than my previous Stegosaurus, but when you look at the detail that's in the drawing, the Stegosaurus that I did previously was better. But again, I mean, I took like 2 hours for that drawing, so of course it's gonna be a little bit better. Alright, so yeah, I would say this drawing is about done. I might go over it with ink when I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to add color to your drawings, or I might not. You'll just have to see. So yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below what you think about the drawing and the video in general, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you won't miss a single video. So this was Dinosaur Drawer, and goodbye.